Welcome back. We're going to stay in Matthew's Gospel today, Matthew chapter 12, verse 5. We've got a little bit of a long question. Or haven't you read in the law that on the Sabbath the priests in the temple desecrate the day and yet are innocent? Of course, Jesus asked that question. That's an interesting phenomenon that the more Bible one knows, the meaner and more legalistic the reader can become. For example, the Pharisees took a narrow, legalistic view of Scripture, and it caused them to miss the more important values therein, things like love and mercy and grace. They set up a system of rules to undergird the law that became oppressive and rigid, and they were adding to that system all the time. Now, what has Scripture done for, in, and to you? Has it made you more compassionate or more legalistic? As you grow in your understanding, do you grow in grace? Do you spend time reading the Word to allow it to transform you? Or is it only to become familiar with the stories and content? Now, if we go to Jesus and his sermon in Luke chapter 11, verses 41 through 54, we're not going to read it all, but now, as for what is inside you, be generous to the poor, and everything will be clean for you. But then he goes on to share the woes. The woes for the Pharisees. Woe to you, Pharisees, because you give God 1/10 of your mint, rue, and all other kinds of garden herbs, but you neglect justice and the love of God. You should have practiced the latter without leaving the former undone. Woe to you, Pharisees, because you love the most important seats in the synagogue and respectful greetings in the marketplaces. Woe to you, because you are like unmarked graves which people walk over without knowing you. And of course the Pharisees said, Lord, you're insulting us when you say these things. Jesus replied, and you experts in the law, woe to you, because you load people down with burdens they cannot hardly carry, and you yourselves will not lift one finger to help them. So read the rest of Luke 11 for yourself, and then ask the Lord to show you if you have adopted the approach the Pharisees took in any area of your life or even biblical study. That's it for today. It was a challenging question, but one I pray you will take to heart and come on back tomorrow when we will engage in another question. So long for now.